Right at it. Right at it. Oh, he's done it again. Just as he did at the John Deere for his first win.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 81 of the Go Get That podcast. I'm back after a 2-episode hiatus. I know you can bring on the booze, but I'm ready to get back into it. I think that with my absence last episode, everyone was spared of my emotional comments that would have been spewed. Maybe I can give a few of them today, but I think we should start off with a moment of silence to the match play.
Mr.
One of the very few great tournaments on the PGA Tour. So, we can.
Yeah, of course it went out that way too, with Rory, Scheffler, Burns, Young on the final day. Excellent matches throughout. Just a lot of content, it was a very fun week. I'm not, the biggest fan of match play.
Of course.
I certainly don't have a problem with it, but I enjoyed it this week. It was a very good, it was just a good week of match play, and I do agree that it sucks that it's not coming back to the tour for at least next year. Hopefully they can get it in some sort of format. I wouldn't mind it at Eastlake. I don't know if the people at Eastlake want it to be played that way, but we shall see. So a fun week at match play for the tour, who seems to continue to just win. All of these designated events have just been awesome for them. And this week we get a non-designated event at Mr. Valero, but the way it's gone, it seems like another important storyline or interesting storyline is going to develop this week too.
Yeah, you mentioned it pretty much, nail on the head. The quality of golf at match play was just unreal. And it's just all building up. I mean, we'll have our Valero bets towards the end of this podcast, but it's all building up to the Masters, obviously. I think it was maybe Shane Ryan on Twitter recording this Tuesday night who said there's so many. I feel like we always say this about the Masters, but there's so many storylines going in. But I think just even more this year with the big three and Rory, Scotty, and
Spieth.
Thank you. Rory, Scotty, Ham, and
there's
you
5.
got Spieth. You got
big 5.
It's just
it's
feels big this year.
It's Spieth, Rory, Scheffler, right? So just wanted to get that.
And that's the group. That's kind of the gap right below Tiger, of course.
Well, Tiger here, Spieth, Tiger.
Nah,
I think I'd have to agree with Bob here for sure.
It could be. I mean, if we want to, I'm sure we'll dive into a little Masters.
We will. We need to.
Do you expect to spend 45 minutes on the Valero Texas Open?
Well, we can talk about. We can keep this as a short episode. I do think we need to.
Bob's Valspar thoughts.
We need to be disciplined on how much we talk about the Masters. We have to save some for next week, but overall, I mean, what do we think so far of the season? Are we disappointed? Are we happy? Are we
talking about Jay Spieth here?
Yes, because I have a take.
Okay. So I think Sam Burns winning, as a Spieth fan.
It's killer.
That's a killer. After seeing the dude, just shank it around Bay Hill, and then a few weeks later win, especially when Spieth had API, he had Valspar, and he didn't get a win. But I think it is what it is. If who knows? If we I said a bad word. Whoops. But if Spieth wins the Masters in 2 weeks, those events don't matter. So Spieth's got plenty of time. He's got the 4 majors. He's playing better going into the majors than he did last year. I don't think you can dwell on the past unless we end up having 0 wins 4 months from now. But yeah, I'd say so far it's been decent for Spieth. He's trending, which is, I know, one of Dan's favorite words.
Mm-hmm.
I know we don't have a win yet, but there's nothing wrong with trending.
Well, it's nice to see you're passionate about the topic.
Thanks.
I have a take
Monetization
First-
off for this video.
personally. I think so far the season is better than I feel like I would have expected in January. We were kind of in a low spot in January, like we were pretty not really sure where his game was at. I've liked what I've seen. Now, I'm very disappointed he has not picked up a win given the 2 chances he has had. Both of those are chances that he should have capitalized on. Both of those are chances that Scotty and Rom probably do capitalize on. But one thing I want to make in his defense is we were looking at his expected wins for the season, and it's pretty darn low. So if he had won one of those events, he wouldn't have really deserved it. So
I agree.
but at the same time, I feel like that's part of the game. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a defense, but it's still disappointing. At the end of the day, I will stand by the fact that the 16th shot, the shot on the 16th of Valspar tells us everything that we've been battling with in recent years, which is his mental stability. And that's just a mental shot.
Interesting.
I'm fully aware that it was not a shot that he felt like he was in a great spot to hit, but at the same time, like, you should be able to put the ball in the fairway if you have to. Don't hit that shot if you can't hit it. Like, it's simple as that.
Yeah.
So clearly it was up in the head. He wasn't feeling great about the shot before he stepped into it. He took a lot of time over it, and you could kind of see it coming. Like, it was a nightmare, and I don't want to dwell too much on that much in the past, but
We weren't here, so like, yeah. I mean, everyone wants
Yeah,
to hear what
no,
you
I-
think.
but
Fine.
this week was a similar. I feel like a little bit similar. However, the back nine made me feel a lot better about against Lowry. If he had gone down to Lowry like that, that would have been a pathetic effort.
He fought. He
Um,
fought.
Yeah.
But he fought.
He played.
Let it be known that front nine will not be acceptable at Augusta.
No,
on Thursday.
obviously not. No.
If that is the front nine at Augusta on Thursday, I will immediately start a live podcast and rant.
Seems fair, to be honest. Yeah.
If there's anything above a 72 on Thursday, I'll be
Ooh.
upset.
Yeah.
Seems fair.
He has had far too many 72s or above in recent years on Thursday at Augusta. So, I mean, the game's not in a bad spot, man. It's really
No.
not. I think it's a lot more mental than I think Dan and Jordan want to give credit for.
Hey. Let me just chime in on that. It's actually funny that you mentioned 16T. I actually think the more mental, midget type of thing was the putt on 17 more than the swing on 16. Just because the putt on 17, it's funny because like we're recapping the match play here at the same time.
It was pretty bad.
Scotty did the same thing Spieth did. He had the putt on Burns at the drivable par 4. He spent like 4 minutes on it and he missed it. He would have won the match and eliminated Sam Burns, but he spent 4 minutes on it, overthought it, and missed. That's exactly what Spieth did 17 at Valspar. I hope, in a week's time that we're just not taking as much time on these short putts. And the thing with Scotty, what's kind of funny too, just to, dive a little into match play, like you take more time on the putt that has more meaning when it's the same distance of putt. It just brings so much more the mental side into it. And it's funny, like the swing on 16, like if you think about it, I feel under pressure, the swing I think it's held up pretty good, to be honest. I think, API, he just was not swinging the driver great over that weekend. I don't think it was pressure. I just don't think the swing was there. I think besides
I don't think the tee shots down the stretch at API was pressure.
No, he wasn't swinging that well.
But you did say something in the chat during the event that caught my eye, and that was during the match play this week. You were talking about on the 5th hole when he was playing Lowry and he missed a 4-footer to tie the hole. You said
3 feet.
before he
4
missed
feet
it,
is generous. 4 feet is generous.
it was more like 3'4", wasn't it? I think
Oh,
It
that
was
man.
it was almost closer to 2 feet than it
I don't
was.
remember what I said here. I'm actually interested.
So what you said was before he putt, you were like,
Oh, okay.
I will never stop not being confident about these putts until he stops taking as much time
Yeah.
as he currently is on them.
Yeah.
And then he missed. And you're completely right. Like, he's thinking a lot. He is really, I feel like he's nailed the technical side of the putting in recent weeks. Like,
I
he's
agree.
getting a lot of the balls to the holes. And he's doing all those weird backpack brace drills on the putting green, which is fine. Like, you know what? Do your thing. We saw Kevin Kisner and Bubba Watson throughout their years of good putting balancing on tennis balls. So, I mean, whatever floats your boat, but it's very clear to see which putts are mental and which putts he's not thinking about and are just hitting.
It's
So
clear. Yeah, it's clear.
that's my spiel on the past 2 weeks. In terms of the match play as a recap, very good tournament. I feel like Cam Young kind of got screwed. I think Sam Burns played his last 10 holes in like -8. I don't think Cam Young played all particularly incredible, but
He played pretty good.
to lose 6 and 5 does not do it justice to the way he played.
Agree.
It was depressing because I know that there was some financial stake in it as well, but I thought that the entertainment value on Sunday morning was as good as we've gotten all year so far.
Ooh, that's hot.
So,
I respect it.
well, you have 2 different mini tournaments going on basically, and they're both in extra holes.
I
Like,
think
thought
it
that was
helped that the
fantastic.
names that were there,
Absolutely, for sure.
which is takes a little bit of luck, I guess. Especially like I think Justin Ray like tweeted out like it's very actually rare to have guys from the like pool A with 1 through 16 seeds get as far as they did. So it's kind of
Also,
nice
let
for the
it be
match play to go
known
out
that
like that.
Justin Thomas, after skipping the match play, has dropped outside the top 10.
What a haymaker here.
Just
Wow.
interesting to see after he lost to old man Kisner last year and decided not to come back. Just food for thought. Food for thought. So yeah,
Dan,
we're
what
on
do
to
you
the
got?
Valero, where it will be a showdown of like 2 gloves and Chuck Hoffman, I guess. So I mean, bring it on. But I'll be completely honest. I don't think I'll watch a second of the event this week. And I have said to Jordan and Dan multiple times, and Jordan definitely agrees with me, I completely hope Jordan Spieth never plays this event again. I do not like the golf course. I do not like the preparation that it is for Augusta. I do not like it. Honestly, if it was in a fall event, like if they replaced the Houston Open with the Valero and switched them, I wouldn't have a problem with them playing Valero in the fall. But it's
Good
just
point you make.
It's such an opposite course from Augusta. Slow greens, TPC style.
TPC style.
Very shocked to see KH Lee was on the field this week.
Ooh, Mr. Lee with it all week.
So congrats to him on the weekend off.
Mr. Lee has a bunch of majors upcoming.
That's fair.
Yes, he does. He does.
He's
He's looking
for the elusive three-peat at
three-peat.
Mr. Ranch and obviously the
5.
Masters PGA as well. So
Dan, what are your thoughts on the match play? We haven't really we want to hear you chime in.
about the tournament in general or about Spieth or what?
Whatever you want to throw at the wall, really. I mean, whatever you got. Hit me.
Well, I was hoping Kurt Kitayama played a little bit better on Saturday. I think
You like Kurt Kitayama?
I love Kurt Kitayama, and I just
Wow.
want him. I want him to be in Rome because I think that'd be sick. And I
Thanks.
said it after he
No,
won.
thanks.
I said it after he won the Arnold Palmer.
Oh,
He actually
man.
played
Oh,
really well
Sorry.
and lost to Cam Young. I mean, on Cam Young, like probably didn't deserve to lose 6-5, but that's kind of Cam Young. Like he doesn't close anything ever. And maybe he's not in the greatest position to close stuff, but it's like, when's this dude gonna break through? You know? And we were saying that about Scotty for a long time, to be fair, but when you look back in hindsight, it's like, oh well, Scheffler won 70 times on Texas amateur tours growing up. So it's like, all right, this guy's gonna figure out how to win. I think Cam Young will win eventually, and Paul Tesori certainly helps. But Webb Simpson wasn't a perennial winner either. He took care of the Wyndham, and that's about it. So Cam Young will have his spots. But it was a little disappointing to see him Burns beats anybody, I think, on Sunday that plays in the second match, but it was a little disappointing to see Young kind of fail like that, especially because he was the best player all week
Correct.
by quite a margin.
I have, unfortunately, though, regardless, labeled him as a loser.
Yeah,
that ends him right there. If he's
I
a
mean-
loser under Bob's book, I mean, that's
I mean, he's a loser. Like, he's what I mean. I don't know. He reminds me of Webb and Will. Like, it's those Wake Forest boys. Like,
I see Will. Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, I get Will finally broke through at the WGC, but he still had a very subpar career so far, wins wise.
Well, yeah.
So maybe he breaks through, but
he has to at some point, right?
He
just hits the ball so good.
He's a loser in my books as of now.
But
sheesh.
Well, he hasn't won anything, so it's hard to not be a loser.
Yeah,
that's the case. If not winning is losing, then he's pretty good at that.
Well, I don't think. Let's see, who's that?
Zalatoris is a fantastic comparison, by the way. Those dudes have had very similar, like, major success.
Both
but
went to Wake.
Not the winning totals yet.
Yeah. You want to know who's like, but like, I don't look at like someone like Arnie Barn Lahiri and think loser. Like, like,
well, because he's not good.
He's just not good. Like, if you don't win, that doesn't mean you're a loser. That just sometimes it just means
right. Well, yeah, I was just kind of hyperbolizing.
I was struggling to find a name to bring up. I don't know why it turned out being Bond, but
poor Bond.
Yeah, poor. Well, he's on Live now, so
Yeah.
It's
interesting to see the CBS news that they'll be giving a fair broadcast.
Yeah.
To players like
Jay
Hefty
Smith.
Mickelson. I'm looking forward to Mickelson's return on TV. I'm a Mickelson fan, so I would.
Well, he's on TV this weekend if you want to watch him.
Live Orlando on the CW network.
CW.
Yes, on the CW. No thanks. I don't even know if I get the CW.
You do make a good point though. I was talking to Dan about this like a day or two ago. Have to think that the kind people, the green jackets over at Augusta National probably told CBS that you're going to have to do it. It makes me wonder. I don't know if CBS would have done it if I'm going to assume that Augusta told them you guys got to showcase the Live guys. Because Augusta doesn't want their tournament to be like a point of controversy where Live guys aren't discussed. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, at the same time, it's going to be nice. I think guys like Mickelson, he's got so many enemies now after the stuff he's done, but the dude's got 3 jackets. Like, he is a part of Augusta National history, and he's a golf legend whether you like him or not. I think it'll be nice because I haven't watched Live. I don't think any of us have watched Live. It'll be nice to see him in competitive golf again.
Here's an interesting question that I just thought off the top of my head.
Ooh.
Would Rory trade places with Phil if he could keep his other majors and take Mickelson's, even just one of Mickelson's jackets?
What a question.
Would he? I think he I think he wouldn't because he thinks he can win it now.
I'd agree
Okay,
with
but
that.
let's say he doesn't win.
Yeah, he would do it 100%.
I think he would too.
I have no doubt. I have no
think he
doubt.
would too.
Sell out for the slam, basically. Yeah,
He,
you do that.
I mean, to be fair,
I think Spieth would do it if he got one of Koepka's PGAs.
yeah, I do too. I don't think I'd blame him for it.
No.
I think I would fully enjoy that PGA Championship win.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
If you could tell me right now that Spieth would win the PGA, let's say he wins. If you could tell me right now that Spieth wins the PGA this year, and then he trots off to live,
Oh no, I don't know about that, Bob.
that's I don't know.
I don't
Well,
think
no,
I'd
I
sign up
think-
for that.
I think he
can't.
would have to join Live and then win the PGA to make the bet or whatever the hypothetical makes sense.
I mean,
But because I don't think if he wins the PGA on PGA Tour status, he's not. I mean,
I'm
obviously,
just
this is
saying,
so
like,
hypothetical, but
would you be okay if Spieth, if someone told you right now that Spieth could win the PGA, but then he'd have to trot off to live?
No,
mm,
no,
No.
because like that's why we love the dude because he's not that. He's not
Okay,
a sellout.
okay. Masters this year and then the PGA. Yeah.
Oh well, see the thing that like we're
I
not
think I
forgetting
might
here,
take that.
he's exempt in the Masters for life. He's exempt in the Open until he's like 60.
yeah,
I think, but the problem is, well, if he were to win a major this year, he'd have 5 years at the PGA and the U.S. Open.
I think if I'll be honest, I think if Spieth went to live, it would be a deal breaker in some sorts where something would have to change. I don't think the PGA Tour could afford to lose.
I can't believe we're discussing this right
yeah. This is
Yeah,
crazy.
I don't think the PGA Tour could afford to lose Spieth. I don't think they could afford to lose Spieth, Rory, or
No, they couldn't.
yeah.
We've gotten
I'm trying to think
wildly
who
off
else is on that
topic here.
category. I'm trying to think of who else they couldn't afford to lose. I think I want to say Scheffler, but then again, and
Scheffler's like becoming a big name.
Yeah,
yeah,
if especially if I think the more like prominent sort of point kind of within this conversation is like what happens if Cam Smith or DJ or Neiman or Harold Varner wins the Masters?
You'd have the PGA Tour not tweet about the Masters.
Yeah, but
let
just
it be
like
known, I am all for a live player winning the Masters.
Like,
this
that
year.
changes
I want
the-
to see it happen. It
that
would
changes
be
the landscape
chaos.
so much.
It would be chaos. I would love to see someone like Cam Smith, DJ, Mickelson.
Who's number one?
Mickelson.
Number one out of the live guys. Who would you want to see the most?
Oh,
Oh, I-
Mickelson.
Phil. Well, okay, besides Phil.
If Phil won the Masters, it would be the greatest day of golf Twitter, I think, or week even, that has ever
Yeah.
existed.
He's got the
Maybe-
High Flyers logo on. Like
You can't imagine him with a
Facts.
green jacket with a High Flyers hat on. I mean, that would be absolutely chaos.
oh my lord.
Could you imagine Patrick Reed winning it?
Oh,
That,
please
that
no.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
That would be yeah.
But I feel like if
mean-
DJ won it, like, it wouldn't really be that big a deal.
Yeah, I think
I
if
feel like
Cam-
he's still treated as a PGA Tour player.
Yeah, I think if Cam Smith wins, I
It would
think
be
that's probably aside from Phil, I think that's probably the biggest deal because
Yeah,
now
because if Cam Smith wins, then he's still, you can still debate that he's the best player in the world.
and he's holding 2 of the 4 majors.
Yeah.
And he's won the last 2 majors. Like Cam Smith wins the Masters. That dude is he's probably not, top 3 in the world just based on OWGR
Well, he's
stuff.
6th right now, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if he moves that high. Although his divisor's pretty low, so maybe
There's no way
the-
he's 6th in the world right now.
I think
He's
he is.
high.
Yeah,
he's
he
high.
hasn't
Let me
he hasn't
look.
fallen very much.
Who? Cam Smith?
Mm-hmm.
He's 5th.
Yeah, he's dropping because all of his good stuff is last year.
By the
Player-
way, I really want to
Open.
see I want to see live players start getting some points personally.
on their
Ooh.
tour,
Yeah.
their tour doesn't qualify though.
But if they played Yeah, it could qualify.
How? It doesn't fit the OWGR stuff.
I mean, they
Should
have
they
to.
get points? Sure, but the complaining about it when it doesn't even fit the criteria of what's already set makes no sense.
They get very little points too.
But
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
don't think it needs to be
They
a
should
lot.
they should in theory get points, but they have to change. They have to tweak some things. I
Yeah,
think.
maybe they do. But anyways, that was a crazy discussion.
Are we getting back on track here?
We should probably get into the picks, but yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. Bob, you're still the leader. We had a little Dan overtook me for a second.
You're
Coming back to the pack though, which is kind of what's
I am. I've lost 3 straight weeks in a row.
Yes, I've won 3 straight weeks in a row.
Let it be known that this week I have no I didn't have the want to look into this course besides Charlie Hoffman. So I am blind tailing Elise for 4 of my outrights.
Oh my
Just
God.
putting that out there. Shout out Elise.
Well, she did
4
mention she's been cold. So
4 of her favorite outrights, but it's Elise. So I will always put my faith in Elise. So I'm going Taylor 50-1, Griffin 48-1, Rye 75-1, and Cootie 150-1. I have 5 on all 4 of those. Hoping for a long shot winner. This is kind of a long shot week.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of long shots win here. But yeah, those are my outrights. I have no reasoning for them except ask Elise if you need them.
Yeah, I think this is a week of anybody but the favorites. Like,
yeah,
like
it's
you
a
could
crapshoot.
in theory Fowler could. I mean, I think the last 10 or 12 years somebody posts the winners and orders them favorite long shots. Kind of middle. I'm blanking on their Twitter account, but I really like it. And Spieth's like the only favorite in the last 10 editions of this event to win. And he was at 12-1. Could be, Tyrrell Hatton's 12 or 13 right now. Fowler's like 20. Corey Connors is 20. I mean, this is just. This field is.
Go Jay Spieth.
Is awful. But so outright, I have Nick Taylor as well. 50
Oh, so it's N Taylor. We have to specify. Bob, are you also N Taylor or B Taylor?
N Taylor.
Yes,
Alrighty.
Mr. Nick Taylor. He T10 at Valspar, played pretty well last week. Just I don't think he got out of his group. But then obviously the solo 2 at another TPC out in Scottsdale. I think he's just playing well. He's won before at Pebble. Very few guys have in this tournament outside of the top 12 dudes have actually won a PGA Tour event. So at 50-1, that makes some sense. And then I'm going to Matt Wallace. I know he won last week. And he's at 48-1. And he's played well here. He was final group with Spieth in 21. And didn't get it done, but he's now won. He's playing with confidence. And the only reason I've seen not to play him is that he won last week. So to me, in the field of, guys that don't win a lot of long shots, a guy who is playing well, has just won, and has played well here at 48-1 makes a lot of sense. So I'm on Matt Wallace to win this week as well at 5 GGT points on that.
Nice.
So you want me to give my outrights or?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I only have 1 and I have 5 points on him.
Nice.
I have Ryan Palmer. I didn't put a
Interesting.
whole lot of time into it, but he's been hitting the ball pretty well. Texas guy. Yeah, outright long shot, pretty decent course history.
Yeah. Palmer's interesting.
He's been ironing it really well.
I'm gonna spice that up a little bit. I am so confident Ryan Palmer doesn't win this week. I will gift you 100 go get that points if he does.
I won't
lie. That was
the ball fine.
That was the last person I expected you to go to. He is an old man.
Yeah, but it's the freaking Valero. Anyone can win this freaking event, man.
I guess Chuck's kind of old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Palmer, I was looking at Palmer too because I was like, well, maybe he just gets it done, but I just couldn't pull the trigger on it.
No, I don't blame you guys, but
Yeah.
it's It's the dang Valero. Like
Yeah,
anyone
no, I
can
know.
win this
It's not
event.
bad. It could happen.
I put
storyline
5
wise.
points on him. Like it's 5 points. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
clearly, I think that tells you I'm not very confident in him.
Right.
fair.
Well,
But
Bob, you've kind of
that's-
spoiled your placement bet.
Well, I did. So I'm going with the $80 nuke. I'm not quite in the guaranteed winner cat. I know everyone's been asking. I've been getting DMs, phone calls, emails. Everyone wants to know when the next guaranteed winner is coming. It's not this week. I apologize to all the fans who are begging for a guaranteed winner, which are 2-0 on the season. But I am going with another whale just because there's really no better way to pick there's no one else that I could go to here. So I'm going 80 on Hoffman at top 40. And Hoffman, the reason why I'm doing this is last year I bet this as well. This is my number one course horse of the year besides Harold Varner at the RBC, and he will no longer be there. Thanks to Live Golf. So, oops, camera died. But there was one other course this year that he's played that he plays well at. And that is in Phoenix. And
go Chuck.
he did answer the call in Phoenix and top 20, top 15 even, I believe.
Yes.
So I am confident that against this field, Mr. TPC San Antonio will come out and just get me a top 40. Maybe it's a T37, but
That's all that matters. Like,
that's all that matters. I think that at plus 200, there's plenty of value there. So that is who I'm going with.
Some good logic. I do believe that is Mr. Hoffman's only top 40 finish.
That might be Mr. Hoffman's only made cut in the last year.
he might be the worst putter on tour. Like
He might be the worst player on tour.
Have you seen his putting numbers? Like, I mean, this is like wildly bad.
I mean, he's putted pretty well here.
I know, I'm
Yeah.
aware, but
Same.
I mean, you gotta
Same.
look at these putting numbers.
Well,
Maybe the ball
it's
striking's
incredible.
there, and he's just
What-
putting his way to miss
well-
cuts. I don't
well,
know.
If he's got the Spieth backpack on Wednesday at the
Yeah.
practice green, it's over. I think
Yeah, I'd
Chuck
agree.
Hoffman
He seemed
wins
to make
by
plenty of
6.
putts when Spieth is in contention. I'll just say that.
Yes, that's an excellent point. Chuck Hoffman, man. I mean, he needs to win to qualify for the Masters too. You can't Thursday lead if you're not in the tournament. So anyway, top 40. I was looking at Tyler Duncan for whatever reason. Couple solo top 3 finishes in the past few weeks, but I pivoted. I'm going to Brent Grant to
Who?
top 40. Mr. B Grant was in contention after 2 days at Torrey. 2 top 25s on the West Coast. Then he withdrew. And then I believe he just
Congrats.
T8'd at the Corrales. And
Value
he's at
estimates.
plus 240. He missed the cut at Valspar, but he putted and chipped horribly. This is a golf course where you have to hit your ball pretty well. It's a somewhat long, tight-ish off the tee. He kind of fits the profile of a great driver of the ball. So I like his chances, and I think he's shown that he can have some top 40 finishes. So at plus 240, why not just
I like that.
chuck some points on him?
I like that.
Thank you.
So I have 2 placements and 2 miscut bets. So
Let's hear them all.
all right, placement number 1, I'm also on Chuck Hoffman. The course history is great, and he's actually been hitting it great, which is like kind of why. That's probably why Bob's on him too. He's actually ironing
That's
it
not
really
that's
well.
not why I'm on him. I
Well,
did
he's
no
obviously
research
a
on
course
this week,
horse.
so
But like
he's-
I kept on
he's a course
scrolling.
horse.
I mean, I scrolled the top 40 and the dude's plus 200. Like I don't care how he's playing if he's that good here.
especially given the field.
It's
Yeah.
funny too because
Like he's a PJ Tour winner, right? Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, he's won on the PJ Tour.
Yeah, he's won
probably
here.
he's won multiple times. Yeah, he's won here. He's won Did he win Phoenix?
I mean,
Or
he
is
is
it just
Mr.
a-
Waste Management. So
I mean,
may.
yeah, he just wears waste management clothes all the time. So that's why I think he
He
did.
just
But
likes to recycle.
regardless, he's just like in this field. It makes no sense for him to be plus 200 when let me just look at like who the guys are around him that are plus 200 as well. Like I don't really understand the logic putting someone who plays so well at this court. Like this is where the books kind of just.
I mean, he has missed 4 straight cuts. So
And he is pretty bad, but at the same time,
he's very bad. He's very bad.
He's pretty horrendous. I can't think of anyone quite as bad as Mr. Hoffman, but
Oh, there's plenty of guys. I tell you, if you start scrolling around in the
okay.
bottom of the top 40, you will find some guys with some interesting stat
Well,
profiles.
it's nice to see that he's
Hey,
the
golf.
same he's the same odds to top 40 as known loser Grayson Sig and known go get that lover Dylan Fratelli.
Yes.
So nice to see
That's
that
funny.
2 great names that he's in the conversation with. Kazuki Higa at the same odds as well. So
People like Higa this week, actually.
I don't even know who that guy is. I have not seen that guy on Twitter once, so I don't know where you've seen his name, but
Dan's been researched. I mean, Brent Grant was certainly a research play,
Yes.
yeah,
which I kind of like. But
Well, I've been
I
making my
respect the
move.
grind. I respect the grind.
Been making my move.
no, I
Yeah,
respect-
going for
I'll
green.
give the warning to not tail me this week. I'm pretty confident that I go minus 100 this week.
it's possible. I think my second placement you guys are gonna like. I'm
Okay.
going another top 40. How about Akshay Bhatia?
Hmm,
You.
interesting.
Dude,
You.
he the numbers that we have on him are limited, but the
Yes.
dude is lights out with his iron play.
Yeah.
I don't think he's Tom Kim good. But he is pretty good.
Please don't compare him to Tom Kim.
I know he's playing all these like side events. So he had a second in Puerto Rico. He missed the cut at Valspar just because he didn't chip well, and he T24'd at Corrales. He's starting to play some better golf. He's like plus 150. And just based on the limited iron play numbers that we have, he is a striper of the golf ball. So I don't hate it at like plus 150. And I mean, he's with Nate Lashley, like Brandon Wu, who is a known loser, as you'd like to say, Bob, after his performance at the Valspar.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think Batia is just he's only
Great
21.
performance. From
He's
him.
21, so he's starting to get a little bit older, get a little more seasoned, and he's good vibes. So I got some go get that points on him as well.
No thanks. I hope that bet loses. I'm not a Akshay Bhatia fan. But
Aw, that's sad.
honestly, I'm just gonna put that out there as well. Like, if Aaron Rye is in deep contention, even though I have a lot of go get that points riding on it, I will be rooting for him to lose. I just want to put that out there. 2 black gloves in the winner's circle will not
2 gloves.
will not do it for me. So just wanted to get we're gonna struggle getting pros on this podcast ever if we want to. We have a lot of bad blood with a lot of people. That's okay. It's okay.
Miscuts.
Oh,
Jordan?
so my 2 miscut bets. One is a guy, I think Bob is well off this gentleman at this point. Mr. Pendrith to miss the cut.
Yes.
No, I hate this guy.
Yeah.
He's been awful.
There's just so many
recently.
losers on tour.
He's fallen off a cliff. The iron play is not there. He's got a T70 in Punta Cana. He had a T69 at the Players, a missed cut at API.
Congrats to him.
He had a
He's
T70 in Corrales.
Yes.
Congrats.
He's
Man.
not playing great. His short game's not very good, which I found is pretty important around here. His iron play's bad. He doesn't hit a lot of fairways. So Mr. Pendrith is one of my miscut bets, and then my other one is Mr. Patrick Rogers.
Nice.
Big name. His iron play also has been dreadful. He's played here 4 times. He's missed the cut 3 of them. He's missed 4 of his last 5 cuts.
Jeez.
So
Congrats.
he's Mr. Rogers is struggling, and I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be another weekend off for Mr. Rogers to get home to watch the Masters.
For you, hopefully it's a Final Four family Saturday for the Rogerses.
You go get home, get to watch the Masters on the couch this upcoming week, and
Yeah, I have a feeling he won't be attending the Masters. So
Yeah.
probably
That's-
neither will Chuck Hoffman.
or Mr. Flower. We gotta find.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Flower. Speaking of Mr. Fowler, and speaking of missed cuts,
Wow.
Oh, wait. Where are we going here?
Wow.
I was thinking about it, but I'm not going to do it.
No, you can't. Do
Aw,
that. Not in
come
this
on.
field.
I apologize for building the whatever it was toward a Flower missed cut this week, but he's playing too well to bet it.
Yeah.
I am going with my
Wrong.
final bet is
Okay.
but honestly, like I was thinking about it just because I don't think Ricky's gonna win this week, which he needs to get into the Masters. And just given how his like resurgence has kind of gone, it wouldn't shock me if he just like missed the cut.
Fair.
I just wasn't around on Saturday or Sunday, but couldn't get myself to do that. So I put the rest of my points on a 3-ball for the tournament. And this is more of a fade of these other 2 guys, but I've got Brendan Todd beating Ben Griffin and Davis Riley. Yes, we are fading Mr. B Griffin again this week. I think this is his 6th week in a row. That's a lot on the PGA Tour. He has to win to get into next week. I kind of feel like if he gets to the weekend and he's somewhat out of contention, that he could fold pretty quickly, just given how much he's played. And you have to drive the ball pretty well around here. He does have some misses off the tee. It's usually okay, but we'll see. Davis Riley, it's fine. I don't think there's anything overly special about his game. He's played here 1 time and did not putt very well, which could flip, but also could just be an indicator of what's to come this week as well. So more of a fade of those 2. And Brandon Todd had a T8 here last year. Don't think he played last week. But really good really accurate off the tee, which is important around here. Putts well, chips well. So T27 at the Players, top 40 at the API, T2 at Pebble. He's had a pretty decent year, so I think could be in for a good week and beat Mr. Griffin and Mr. Riley.
Thank you.
That's at plus 180. Got 55 on that.
The fade of
Cash
Griffin. I love it.
154. Yeah, fading Griffin is always a good time.
This means it probably won't pan out, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, it worked last week. Mr. Griffin did not have a great week at, Valspar. But yeah, any last Valero thoughts?
I have no thoughts.
I am happy to not speak about the Valero again.
I don't think we're watching. I think the only way I'm watching is if Ricky is probably, in contention on Sunday. Just because, like, as much as we crap on Ricky, like, if he's in contention on Sunday to get into the Masters, like, it'd be cool. It'd be good for the game of golf.
Yeah.
I will not lie. I still firmly believe that the best outcome of the week for entertainment purposes on Twitter would be a Fowler playoff loss. But I do think that the
So
second best outcome would be a Fowler win.
Yeah.
So
a Fowler playoff loss would be
a Fowler win would be pretty sick.
The funny thing, I think even if he was in a playoff and lost, I don't think he'd be that pissed. I really don't. I think the dude's thinking long term because, like, he was in the depths and Mr.
Yeah.
Butch has,
but
rescued him.
Ricky
Like,
Fowler tracker.
yeah, well, yes, but like Ricky's gonna be in all three of the. He'll be in the PGA. He'll be in the next three. I think like
Yeah.
Ricky'd probably be happy with another good finish and to keep trending up.
Well, yeah, he'd
Yeah.
re-enter the top 50 to that.
Ricky fans would be, they'd be
Yes.
dire, but I mean,
That would be tough, certainly. But
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think if anything, I'll be watching the Anwa this weekend. Get a little
yes,
look at. Speaking of the Anwa, it wouldn't shock me if Mr. Spieth's in attendance on. Does it end on Saturday or Sunday? I think Sunday. I have a good feeling Mr. Spieth will be donning his green jacket watching the Anwa on Sunday afternoon.
I think that would surprise me.
It would. I bet you he's there early, Bob.
I bet you he's with his kid at home, not practicing.
Come on. I have a feeling, dude. I don't know. I think Mr. Spieth will be there early.
I think
Sunday.
Mr. Spieth is hungry.
I do too.
right.
no.
So why would he be
Hungry.
not practicing then?
I think he's had dreams of lifting Sammy up on the 18th green at Augusta. I think that's what keeps him going.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
I will admit I've also had those dreams.
No, I have too. I mean, this is it's so
little-
close and like he's playing well. It's
A
it's
little
nearly
quick,
time.
quick weather update while we're a week out from Augusta.
Weatherman Dan.
Looks like some rain in the morning on Saturday and potentially some rain on Wednesday.
Oh,
But
oh,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday appear to be low chances of rain. Not very much wind, so hopefully they can turn on the
Sub-air.
sub-air on Saturday afternoon and keep it rolling until Thursday morning. And just get that thing as cooked out as they can. But we'll be back on Wednesday next week, Tuesday next week. We'll figure it out. We'll try and get Elise on as well.
I think a Wednesday live would
on
be
YouTube.
good.
It
I
is a
also
good to me.
think that we'll put together some plans, but I think a low round on Thursday would constitute an Instagram live.
Oh yeah, I'd agree
Interesting.
with that.
I think a 36 hole 4-shot lead would
any
be
contention heading into the weekend could constitute a live podcast again.
I'd agree. Yeah, I mean,
potentially.
it's funny too because I think we discussed this last year and then he just
Well,
absolutely
last year
crapped
we
the bed.
planned to have one after
Yes.
every round,
And it was just so
then-
bad.
Well, yeah,
He
we
shot
had
like
one
se-
Thursday. And it,
Yeah,
it was bad.
And they missed the cut, and we were like, we're just gonna
We
wait.
can't.
Screw this.
Then we had one the following Sunday as he took down Hilton.
Maybe
Head.
we'll get some
basically-
guests on. Never know.
We'll have to discuss
We'll
certain
keep
guests.
you on your feet. We'll keep you on your feet.
There's
But
a
I think
certain
that's all
guest
we
that comes
have.
to mind who I think would love to come on, but we'll have to discuss that one.
Who would?
Mm.
Let's not name names here. Let's
We're not gonna
Potentially.
name names. We can't let them get too excited. I think that's all we have for you here for episode
Yeah.
81. Thank you guys for listening.
The next time you'll hear us will be it's Masters week. I mean, it's so close, so close.
This is it's as chill as it gets.
It is.
The azaleas are blooming.
Yeah, they are blooming.
Peace, everyone.
Take care.